I remember once saying I went to this school and when I was a kid, and saying to one of the kids in the school, I said, you know what it's like when you've got this music going on in your head, and you know, and there's a bunch of my friends, and they said no. And then it dawned on me that I thought everybody had this stuff going on in their head, and it scared me a bit, you know. But I just always had music from very, very young.
Do you think it's that environment that kind of inspired the music going on in your head all the time, or do you think it was just something naturally you would have had?
I don't know, because my brother's very musical. He doesn't play a musical instrument. My sister is totally unmusical. Music doesn't play any part in her life at all. I also have some cousins that play music, and some don't. So I don't know. For me, it just grasped. You know, it got a hold of me from as far back as I can remember. I can remember as a little kid, my dad. See, my dad's family were gypsy people, English gypsies, and my dad, he just loved Django Reinhardt, because there was a gypsy man that was a real icon, somebody really to look up to. And so he used to play this music all the time, and I used to listen to Django, and just as soon as I heard it, it just got me, you know. Wow, you know. I never attempted to play like Django, but there was just a spirit and an emotion in his music. And for me, the music is the one thing that completely gets to me. You know, other arts I can appreciate, but music just it totally gets me. And I don't know. That's just my my makeup, I guess.
Well, how old would you be when your father first introduced you to Django? I mean, because you started playing guitar at a very early age.
I can't remember. My earliest memories are really of my dad and his friends in the house, and playing, you know, playing that music, putting Hot Club records on, and also Eddie Lang and Joe Venuti records, and Ben Webster, Duke Ellington, Coleman Hawkins, Fats Waller. All this music was just going on all the time, and it was just. For me, that was my world. I thought all the other kids that I knew had the same thing in their house, and of course they didn't. It was just we were just, you know, I came from a musical household, so I couldn't really. That was my normal world as I saw it.
Right. So, because it would seem like most people rebel against their parents' music, like, oh, I don't like that. But instead, you just dove right in.
Yeah, I did. I mean, you got to remember as well that I grew up at the time when the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and the whole thing, the whole Elvis and the whole rock and roll thing was going on, and that was part of my world too. But I didn't actually want to play that. But I remember sitting down with my dad once when I was a very little kid, and he played me this recording of Django. I was very tiny. He said, you hear that? He said, I wonder what's going on in that man's head, because he said he's making that up as he goes along. He said that, you know, he's improvising. It's just he hasn't worked them out beforehand. And that's what's going on in his mind. And how is, you know, he's saying this to me when I was just a little kid, and that fascinated me. And I said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, it's like instead of playing the melody, he's making up another melody as he goes along, because my dad was quite a simple kind of guy, and you know, he didn't sort of go into things and talking about the technicalities of things, and that just registered with me, and I realised that when I played a melody, I could embellish on a melody. I could even, you know, from just making little tiny changes, or even changing the melody completely within the harmony. And I was just very lucky. I understood it. Everything else I couldn't understand. In the world, you know.